Posse Comitatus, they haven't completely removed that 1878 law. We know in Mexico and communist China they have troops on the streets. This is a sign of a banana republic, of a third world police state, so that we don't want that. But the larger issue here is that they've announced Homeland Security wants to put 20,000 regular Army troops to patrol America. The Naval War College, the Army War College has said their new job will be engaging us, combat with the American people to stop an insurrection against the banks. So, A, are you aware of that? B, can you tell us specifically what units, how why the Army was going to be out running checkpoints?
Well, I got this news late on Friday, and when I got the news, I immediately jumped on it to try to call some local authorities that I knew first to see what was going on. And when I made the call, I found out at that point in time that the governor had already made the decision to cancel this, in which I was very proud of that. But I am not aware of Homeland Security doing this. I did hear that they would be involved in this roadblock issue on last Friday.
Tuesday, Tennessee was the first to do this simultaneously at 5 weigh stations and 2 bus stations statewide. They're recruiting truck drivers like Rudy Gonzalez into the First Observer Highway Security Program to say something if they see something.
Not only truck drivers, but cars, everybody should be aware of what's going on the road.
It's all meant to urge every driver to call authorities if they see something suspicious.
Hi, I'm Janet Napolitano, Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security. Homeland Security begins with hometown security.
We've got to have a civilian national security force that's just as powerful, just as strong, just as well-funded.
The airport adventures, which they now admit are going nationwide with the Viper teams at bus stops, train stops, the streets, shopping malls, random vans, sending you through body scanners, biometrically scanning 360 your naked body.
Now, TSA agents are on the interstates fighting terrorism with visible intermodal prevention and response, or Viper operations. The Tennessee Highway Patrol is checking trucks with drug and bomb-sniffing dogs during random inspections.
The bottom line is this: if you see something suspicious, say something about it.
And/or subject to other police action.
Tyranny is here. The grim future foretold in 1984 has become reality.
It really says that the state is God.
The United States is now recognized globally as one of the most oppressive police states on earth. This film conclusively proves the existence of a secret network of FEMA camps, now being expanded nationwide. This documentary exposes how the continuity of government program has established an all-powerful shadow state. Police State 4 chronicles the sickening depths to which our republic has fallen. Prepare to enter the secretive world of emergency dictatorship, body scanners, sound cannons, citizen spies, stage terror, and cameras on every street corner. It's only the beginning of the New World Order's hellish plan. The police state isn't coming. It's here. Secure your copy today at Infowars.com or see it online in the highest quality at PrisonPlanet.tv.
Smithing and do all kinds of things.
You even sell guns.
We even,
well, go to the rabble slave with a weapon. Disarm him. Get the guards. Disarm him immediately. Whereas one of the slaves has a weapon. Raise the alarm.
I want to be crazy, crazy like Alex Jones. And yet having a gumption without a presumption to know what's going on. Then I can throw bananas at the global clowns and hear aristocratic moans. I want to be crazy, crazy like Alex Jones. I went looking one day on the internet just to see what I could find. When I heard this talk show maniac just proudly speaking his mind. It was really wild, but the more I heard, it made a whole lot of sense to me. I want to thank you, Alex, for opening my eyes and helping the blind to see. I want to be crazy, crazy like Alex Jones. And yet having a gumption without a presumption to know what's going on. Then I can throw bananas at the global clowns and hear aristocratic moans. I I wanna be crazy, crazy like Alex Jones. All the talking heads on the TV screen with an arrogant sophistication, talking about what's been going on around the world and here in our nation. They all seem to turn like a pack of wolves when Alex goes on the air. In spite of the facts, they launch their attacks, and I just don't think it's fair. I wanna be crazy, crazy like Alex Jones, and yet having that gumption without a presumption that no one's going on. Then I can throw bananas at the global clowns and hear aristocratic moans. I wanna be crazy, crazy like Alex Jones. Yeah, I wanna be crazy, crazy like Alex Jones.
You know, there's a guy for 20 years that's been exposing the New World Order. He was an Air Force officer. He was a best-selling author. He was the guy that wrote the big Defense Department training manuals. He was somebody who woke up to the New World Order 20 years ago and who was one of the seminal people whose books I read that were #1 bestsellers that helped expand my knowledge. He was a guy in 1993-94 that wrote Project Lucent, exposing the RFID, the tracker chips, the smart dust, the control grid. I can't think of anybody I've interviewed more visionary than Pastor Texe Mars and his incredible ministry and all the things that he does. We're going to give you his websites and give you a number for his free newsletter, but he's here joining us tonight, and it's always great to have Texe Mars with us for the rest of the hour. Then Weldon Henson, who works in the office, great country music singer, is going to be in here to play a few songs. Then we're going to open the phones up for another hour. Then we've got more guests joining us, Gerald Celente, you name it. But Texe, it's great to have you here with us during this 27-hour live transmission.
Alex, I'm just delighted to be with you, especially on an occasion like this money bomb thing, because I'll tell you the truth, I'm really upset about this. I mean, my whole system is just going nonstop. But if people realized how precarious, how dangerous the peril is right now today, I think they would give 3 times as much as they're already giving. I know you're going to have a successful money bomb, but when we finish this next 40 or 50 minutes, I hope people will really help you because, you know, we've been friends for a long, long time. And you started out on a shoestring, and, man, what you've done, miracles. God
well, you married my wife and I over 10 years ago.
Well, there was a miracle right there. You know, you really married up. Oh, no. Only kidding, Alex. No, I'm delighted. She was a very precious lady. She still is. And those kids are precious. So I tell you, you've really done well there, too. But I want to make sure that the America that we know can be great and was great will be exactly that. I feel for your kids and for families out there because America is not the same, and we need to restore it as much as we can. And we have such a fictitious political system. In fact, what we really have, Alex, and I think you'll agree with me on this, what we have is a global culture of corruption by the elite. It's unparalleled in greed and criminality. You know, it really represents the failure of globalization. It's the failure of globalization. And we should return back to patriotism, to nationalism, to America first. But as this proceeds, and I believe some bad things are going to happen over the next year, particularly. As it proceeds, though, they will come up with their solution, and their solution will not be less globalization, but they will say we need more. We need, just like even the Vatican was snookered into issuing a statement this week that said we need a supranational organization
A world government, a global currency.
Exactly, a global currency, a global bank system. And, you know, we already have these criminal organizations, the World Bank, the International Monetary Fund, the International Bank of Settlements, the European Central Bank, and, of course, the counterfeiter, the greatest counterfeiter in the history of mankind, which is the Fed Reserve. I mean, their printing presses are unimpeded by U.S. laws. Alex, I have right here in my hand, it weighs about 10 pounds or so, maybe not that much, a copy of the first audit of the Fed Reserve System. In fact, I want to give people the number on it because they can ask their congressman for a copy. Now, remember, this is, as you know, a partial audit. Now, thanks to Congressman Ron Paul, and I have to admit to even the socialist senator from New England, Bernie Sanders, there was a little bit of legislation that required the Fed to at least come clean, supposedly, on a small period when they were doling out, you know, this $16 or $17 trillion. Now, remember, $17 trillion, this report talks about, and it lists supposedly all of the corporations and banks throughout the world and how many billions they were given during the last couple of years by the Fed. The number of this, and it's dated July 2011, is GAO. Of course, that's the Government Accountability Office. GAO-11-696. But I'll tell you what, you don't want to eat a full meal when you're reading this 207-page report. You may vomit it up because, I mean, the money is incredible. Did you know that the European Central Bank was given a total of $8 trillion in a total of 271 transactions?
Yes.
The Bank of England, $919 billion. The Swiss National Bank, $466. The Bank of Japan, $387 billion. The Denmark Bank, the Reserve Bank of Australia, the Bank of Korea, the Norway, Banco de Mexico. Even rich Germany, the Deutsche Bank got $77 billion. The Paribas France, $64 billion. Barclays of the United Kingdom, $232 billion. Now, Royal Bank of Scotland, I could keep going, and I haven't even named the American banks. But then we get to the corporations, Alex. We get to, everybody complained about poor old General Motors, right? They made the CEOs of Ford and General Motors and Chrysler go beg and grovel for some money from the TARP. Oh, it was an embarrassment to them. Meanwhile, the Fed under the table was giving more. They gave 10 times as much money to corporations overseas like Volkswagen, like BMW. Can you believe that? And they were keeping it all secret from us. I mean, even McDonald's.